Today we have Lily Giovanna with us. She is a business owner, a hairdresser, and a 10-year resident of Newport, Rhode Island, right?
Yeah.
So Lily, tell us a little bit about your salon, and just the whole Newport experience for you.
Yeah, my salon is Lily Lion Salon. It's here in Newport, right off Broadway. You can't miss it. There's about a 25-foot high mural on the outside, so hard to miss. It is a home conversion, and I think that's the most different thing about it. When I moved here, we bought this property and had the license through a petition permit, so we had it rezoned through the city of Newport. A lot of people said it couldn't be done, but here it is. It's awesome. So I have my dream. I get to work, live in the same place.
And how convenient that is these days.
Yes, I know. Who knew?
No, you were getting prepared all those years ago.
I know. It's been interesting. I mean, obviously the salon, we can't do clients, but I've been able to do a lot within my business and work on it pretty easily, because it's not like I had the door shut on me. I have friends in California that haven't even walked into their salon since March, don't even know their inventory, nothing. It's really hard to reopen when you're in that situation. So for me, it's a lot more convenient.
Yeah, you told me earlier that you were actually in Italy earlier this year.
Yeah, I was in Italy. I know it's crazy, but I was there. I have family in Italy, in northern Italy, where the coronavirus pretty much started, in Europe after it left Asia. So I was there visiting my family and got to see the beginning stages of what we were going to see only a few weeks later. It's kind of like I went forward in time here in another country. So it was a unique experience. It didn't ruin our vacation by any means. It wasn't at that point. We were still at the point like where Newport was, just kind of realizing what was going on, because no one in the world really had an idea of how I think this could spread. Or if we had an idea, we didn't really know exactly how fast. So
we were in denial.
Sorry?
We were in denial about it.
We were in denial. Yeah. We were like, that hope for the best, but plan for the worst.
And happened to us.
So yeah, I got to have a great time with my family, but it was definitely heavy on the mind in the conversations we were having. We were mentioning it. There were some spots that were already quarantining. And, upon arrival, my temperature was checked at the airport in New York. I flew from New York back into Boston, and I just felt anxious myself. So I went and got an okay from my doctor to go get checked, and went to a clinic and was okay to go back to work. I didn't go back right away, but I only went back for about a week and a half. And that's when things started feeling a little more serious to me. And I decided on my own that I would close the salon. I think my last day was right before the St. Patty's Day parade.
I was going to ask you, when you went to the doctor, were you tested for COVID-19? I mean, did they even have the test?
I thought I was going to be. I was under the impression that I'd be tested right away. I'm like, I walked into Newport Hospital. I told them, you were being asked at that point, have you been to another country? Yes. What country? Italy. Yeah, you're fine. So I was like, oh, I don't think Italy's fine, but maybe we haven't been told exactly what's going on yet. So I wasn't tested. I was just tested through symptoms,
right,
and cleared because of the time that I had been without symptoms. So I think hindsight 2020, who knows, maybe they would have tested me, but for what I'm hearing is you self-quarantine when you come back from another country.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing now. I think it's so ambiguous. I think just trying to stay away from people is the best medicine.
Right. Yeah, no, I think
You can't
right.
be tested, just assume that you're sick, and then once it's been long enough, that window, odds are you're not.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, I mean, you just got to do what you can.
Mm-hmm. No, but that must have, you obviously got a much clearer idea of what we were heading into than a lot of people, because even,
Salons were closing, restaurants were closing, communities were, they were just paying attention,
mm-hmm,
you know, and it was definitely talked about, and it was becoming more respected as a serious issue,
right, right.
not just a meme.
And you started to pivot your business fairly quickly. A lot of people wouldn't think of, I mean, hairdressing is definitely an industry that was severely affected, and they're still trying to figure out how to bring that back, pardon the pun, online. But you've managed to do that in a way. So you're offering people products still, as well as Zoom meetings about haircuts.
Yeah, it's strange, but I went right into activity because I have probably 2 switches on or off. So I figured might as well get used to this new thing right away. I didn't hesitate. Basically, I took my last client and started writing down a plan on what to do and jotting down ideas. And one of the ideas I had was basically to create online ordering for hair care kits, color kits, and bundles of products. So I just went on Instagram stories and started talking about it, how I could do like non-contact doorstep drop-offs, whatever you might need, and do color kits for people that may need a root touch-up, because at that point I had people that were booked within 48 to 72 hours of the time we're closing.
Right.
They might need their hair done. And yeah, I decided, I think it's really up to each individual stylist and salon how they wanted to go about that. Luckily, I own my own business and I can kind of create my own rules in a way that are respectful. I really thought it was okay for me to do a color at home kit. I was only doing root touch-ups. So none of the blonding, no highlights, nothing like that. Again, because I was in Italy, I came back and I was already talking to my clients about how you feel about what's coming, what's going on. I'm located right across the street from a school. I have healthcare workers that are clients. I have, people that I know they're going to have to keep going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And not all my clients are root touch-ups. I would say that's a really just part of my clientele. But those people that are, like, I just chose to make them their own root touch-up kits so that they could do at home. And it was a pretty good idea. They loved it. They appreciate it. And they get to go to work and not stress about how they look, make their life a little easier.
Right. And I'm sure people are finding it a little bit difficult. They realize how your job's not that easy when it comes to coloring hair.
No. So another thing I did within that pivot is I started working on my website. I'm completely revamping my website, completely rebranding. This is really, if nothing else, I feel like it's pushed us all to be more efficient and utilize technology in a better way. People that never thought they could work from home are working from home. People thought that we couldn't teach kids or teaching kids online. I mean, it has its pitfalls, but it just shows that, like, when we put massively our energy together, we can do something. So I went and just started working on the back end of my website, and I'm actually doing coaching just like this on Zoom. So when people purchase this kit, I'm not just like handing them, here's your color, go home, knock it out, like with a box and mix it. Like, it's extremely organized. I had to like test out a bunch of different ways with my color, how to slow down or stop, preferably, the oxidization of the product, because that's why you can't use professional color at home. This is the problems and pitfalls, a stylist have with this whole conundrum. Like, how do we help you at home? So I figured out a way. I cracked a code on how to repackage my product in a way with instructions. And then I matched that with a Zoom call. So we're essentially still doing our hair together. Like, if you called me and you're like, hey, I can't stand this. And I'm mostly talking about the people that are like gray, you know.
Yeah.
If you're in your 20s and you're telling me don't worry about it, you're staying home, go gray, like, it's really hard when you're the person.
Yeah.
It's gray. Like, I still have to make professional calls, or I have to show up to work every day, and it's already stressful enough being the people that are these frontline workers. So this doesn't help. So if you were to order it, we book a time. So I have it on my website where you book an appointment just as you would. You're booking your time to do your hair, and we're just doing it together on Zoom. So we're still chatting, and I'm still coaching you, and it's still an experience, but it's pretty funny because we start to laugh a lot about how it's just not as easy. Like, I wish you were here putting it on. So it's good. It's been good in a way.
That's great. And you get to see people's homes too.
I do. I get to see their home because they're always in my home. So
Exactly.
it's interesting. It's been just a wild ride. I'm just kind of,
It's weird, right? Everything is just really weird, but
it's weird, and it's day by day, and I'm just, taking it day by day and seeing what happens and what works and what doesn't, and just trying to do the next best thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's great that you have been able to do that, and kind of pivot in that way. And you're delivering these packages to people throughout Aquidneck Island, Jamestown as well, right?
Oh yeah. All the Aquidneck Islands, Portsmouth, Jamestown, pretty much. My clients are from all over the place, and it's been mostly my own clients. So I'm also just like, went from going into a business where I work from home.
Yeah.
I am here.
Yeah,
You'll find me at 10 Main Avenue, 9 times out of 10, unless I'm walking the dog. But now I've been throwing my dog in the car, and we're out all the time. And I'm like, wow, I just get to see all kinds of cool stuff. We're just walking and hitting trails, and it's just been interesting. So right now, yes, I've been doing the hand delivery, but I'm working on shipping now.
Okay.
So that's my next big thing, and I can't wait for that.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
And I mean, it sounds like my next question was going to be, what are your future plans and projects? But it seems like your future plans and projects have been kind of moving. They've been spurred on by what has happened, right?
Pretty much. I had wanted to rebrand and wanted to work on my website for a long time. It was stale, it was dated, but it was one of those things like the rest of, us that are single micro businesses, because I don't even consider myself small. I'm me.
Yeah.
This is me here, and I've been wanting to do that, but I was so busy with my hands on hair and being behind the chair that I've never at a desk with enough time to work on the back end of my business. I'm always the front of my business, and by the time I'm resting from that, I'm just too tired. So it did grant me a little bit of opportunity, but I've never felt not busy during this time. I felt busy from the moment this started. I have been busy because I'm doing something different and new. So now pivoting all my products to online, to the website, is something that I wanted to do for a long time, because as a small business, micro business, however you are, we're all in competition with Amazon, with Target. Everyone's online. These are massive, companies. So I've seen hair since I've been doing hair now for almost 20 years. It started in 2000, and I just have seen it like change. You used to go to your stylist and you purchase, your products from her because they didn't sell them anywhere else really, and you only knew about those. Then it slowly started to leak into all the stores, and then all of a sudden everything's online. So we've been really kind of lost in that, the retail side. And I was a product knowledge person at my old salon. I've always been into product knowledge. I mean, that's just my thing. And I worked with Bumble and Bumble back in the day for 7 years. I went on to work with Davenus, and now I'm even bringing in a new line called Original Minerals and Away. So all of them are sustainable, beautiful products. They're environmentally forward thinking, and that's kind of my stance at this point. Forward thinking in a way of sustainability and well-rounded minimalist packaging, biodegradable, possible, being part of a B corporation, which is a self-audited product, and just doing that so that my clients don't have to. If they want to go online and purchase a product that's already been self-audited and is cruelty-free and all the things that are going to go under my guidelines, they'll find it there. So it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I'm finally getting to do it. So I'm pretty excited. So once I get the shipping down, I'll be able to ship it anywhere.
That's great. Yeah.
I actually shipped some products to one of our favorite places the other day. I walked over to the post office and it's going to Puerto Rico right now.
Really?
Yeah, my Olaplex collection. Yes, it'll be the same one.
That's great.
Yeah. My first Puerto Rico shipment.
That's amazing. Well, obviously I have the Puerto Rican flag in the background.
Yeah. My dad was born there, so I was pretty excited.
That's great. Did you ship it to San Juan?
Yeah, that's where it's going.
Okay.
Yes, I have an old client that's there, and that's where she's quarantining at her home there, and she reached out to me when she saw it on Instagram. I'm like, yeah, I will ship you out, of course. Amazing. So this is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a silver lining to all of this, and it's nice to talk about the positive aspects because there's certainly a lot of negative aspects to it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is serious. This is nothing to be downplayed.
No.
But it's something we can be positive about. I think there's a difference between downplaying and putting a spin on things versus seeing the positivity and an equal amount of seriousness about it too. I mean, I see that there's going to be major changes in the salon industry for the next year or two.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to lie. It's going to feel weird when I walk in and I'm wearing a mask and you're wearing a mask, and we're like, I think that goes across the board. We're not used to that. We're used to having human connection, but we will get used to it. It's just going to be weird for a little while. We'll get used to that. And humans, they have a way, like we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, adaptability is what allows us to survive, whether it be as an individual or as a business. But no, it's funny with the masks because I find that I'm trying to communicate so much more with my eyes because
it's going to be all about the eyes. I have super expressive eyebrows and eyes. I get them from my mom, and it's my time. Hand talker, I'm this. I'm like, I'll be okay. In fact, people probably need a little break from my mouth. So who knows? I don't know. I'm just trying to see a good perspective in it. You know? Again, it's, to me, like forward thinking just keeps coming up. Like, it's not about going back to normal. It's changed. Things have changed, you know? So we're going to have to roll with it and be more caring and be more caring about how we affect each other. Like, we never really thought about that. We took it for granted. And now we're really being caring of everyone around us, caring of our elders. How much space do we give each other? Like, these things, like, they could have always been a good thing to do. So
yeah, but it is, difficult. I mean, I've always been a hugger and a toucher, and not being able to do that now, and just being super cognizant of your surroundings and keeping that distance. It's strange. And even if it were to go back to, okay, it's all normal, we can hug and kiss each other as much as we want. I don't know, it'd be hard to go back into it now because I would have that playing in the back of my mind. I don't think we realized how much we affected each other. I hadn't thought of it that way.
I just ask people to have patience for anyone, not just like me, but for any salon, any restaurant, any service industry, everyone, honestly, everyone right now. We just need to have a lot of patience because it's going to take twice as long for us to do the things safely and cleanly. And it's going to cut into a lot of our day to do it right. And we want to do it right. So I'm trying to do everything I possibly can to accommodate people.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it certainly won't happen instantaneously. This will be, done in phases. And well, thank you, Lily Giovanna, for speaking with me today. And I can't wait to see your new website and to see you in person at some point.
Yes, I know.